What is it that you're expected to gain out of this? As Crookie said, the most viewed sporting event, one of the most viewed sporting events. The last protest, 1993. It's only got bigger. It's only been viewed by more people. Do you expect there more frustration? It's going to bring more eyes onto the sport, and it's going to have a negative impact on what you're trying.
I think you're in danger of losing more sympathy than you'll gain.
Yeah, I mean, we of course we've thought about that, but what we need is a public conversation about our treatment of animals, and that's what we're doing it for. But we're also doing it to stop the harm for the animals. Like, you know, as your bulletin just said, you know, the runners and riders for the Grand National have just been announced. Some of those horses have better odds to die than they do to win, and we don't think that's right.
How many are you expecting to turn up? I mean, listen, how many people is in the world? Not all of them are animal lovers.
No, but we know as a nation, we know in the UK we are a nation of animal lovers. When we do surveys about it, people talk about that. People will stop and do a lot for animals. And when they see a horse rescued from a ditch, for example, by the fire service, everyone's sharing it on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? We do care for these animals. And actually, but when you know, I would challenge you guys, you know, you're the journalists on a sports program, show people the other side of the industry. Show them when the whistleblower jockey comes out and says, here's 18 young horses, foals shot because they can't make any money. They're not profitable for the industry. Show your, you know, make your listeners hear that as well.
But I think it's too easy, isn't it? I mean, what you're suggesting is that everybody involved in horse racing, be that the punter, be that the trainer, be that the jockey, be that the organisers of events like the Grand National, they're not animal lovers, and that isn't the case. That's too sweeping a statement.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I've said that. You know, for example, my mum, you know, she was in the industry. She was a bookie. She was an owner. She went to
How does she feel about what you're planning to do at the weekend?
Well, sadly, she died a while ago. But
how would she feel?
She would feel pretty proud, actually. I think, of the fact that we are taking a stand for the animals themselves. Look, these are old industries. You know, like horse racing has been called the sport of champions, the sport of kings for a long time. But we had dog fighting, and that is no longer something that's socially acceptable. We had fox hunting, that's no longer socially acceptable. And what we've got to do is like have this bigger conversation about the way we treat animals everywhere in our society, particularly in the food system. Because actually, you know, 2,000 horses in the UK do go into the slaughterhouses every year. Half of them do have racing passports. That pales into insignificance when you look at the number of pigs and chickens, you know, and the pollution and all of the problems that comes with the way that we exploit animals in this country. Now, those who are jockeys and trainers in the industry, in the racing industry, I'd say, look, you like these animals, you love these animals, you care for them. Let's get them out of harm's way.
Two final questions for you. One, do you think you're going to be successful in trying to stop the Grand National? And two, you can't truly believe, as you've said, that you are going to end the sport of horse racing.
One, I'm not, you know, I wish I could tell the future and I'd put a bit of money on the lottery, but I don't know. I would hope that we do enough to raise a public conversation about sort of the way that we treat animals. You
said you're going to retire the sport of horse racing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we'd love to, you know, but again, unfortunately, I don't have that power and I wish I did. But what we can do is have a really good, big public conversation across this nation about the way we treat animals.
Well, Alex, we appreciate you coming on and sharing your views. Day one of the world-famous Grand National Festival gets underway today. Talksport has all the action covered. Obviously, Alex won't be listening. From 1 o'clock, H&J have 3 live races.